Okay, so to recap our lesson today for elementary maths, where we covered rounding, estimation, and BIDMAS. The first thing we talked about was rounding. So we talked about doing our first of all to nearest 10 and 100. Just a couple of examples. So here, if we were going to round to the nearest 10, we would identify our 10. So in this case, it's a 3. I would draw a line and look at the number next to it. Our rules of rounding are if the number is below 5, we round down. If it's 5 or above, we round up. So in this case, to the nearest 10, we would round up, so it would become 1,440. To the nearest 100, we need to look at the hundreds column. We'll look next to that, it's a 3, so we're going to round down. Again here, to the nearest 10, this is our 10. Next to it is a 5, so we're going to round up. And then to the nearest 100, this one's a little different. This is a 5, so we're going to have to round up, and the 9 is going to become a 10, so 1,000. Exactly the same principle works for running decimal places. So here, first decimal place, we count the decimal places as here, the 5 would be the first, 6 would be the second, 4 would be the third. So we're counting right from the decimal place. So to one decimal place, again, we identify our first decimal place, in this case the 5, look at the number next to it. It's above 5, so we would round it up. So this is going to be 7.6. To two decimal places, we look at the second decimal place. It's a 4, so we round down. So it just stays as 7.56. Here to one decimal place, we look at our first decimal place, it's a 9. There's a 1 next to it, so we round down. Just stays as 0.9. So the second decimal place, there's a 5 next to it, so we're going to round up to give us 0.92. That was the rounding that we covered. We also talked about estimation, and we talked about how we could use this to check our answers. The key here is just to make it as simple as possible. So for this first one, we could round the 6.7 to 7, and the 4.3 just to 4. And then we just work it out, so that would give us 28. On the second one, 8.91, we'll just call that 9, times by 5.03, just round that to 5. So we could just say that was 45. This is very useful if you're checking your work. The last thing we talked about was BIDMAS. So this is the order of operations, the order that we do our calculations. So B, that's our brackets, that comes first. Indices, that's the second thing we do. So that would be, for instance, 2 squared, or it could be 3 to the power of 4, anything with a power. Also known as order sometimes, so you might see this as BIDMAS as well. Then we do the division, then the multiplication, then the addition, then the subtraction.